know what we want and what we can hide behind. We don't know what's protecting us. This guy's got some news for you today, and I need you to pay attention. Try not to pay attention to these people, okay? They can try to drown us out, but guess what? I'm louder. I'm louder, prouder, and you ain't gonna shut me up. So pay no mind to them, and then give me a round of applause for Bjorkman. Hello, Barry! Let's hear it. My name is Dave Bjorkman. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta. I drove across the country for the first time in my life to bring to you all a major discovery of what this country really is. I've been to every major university in the world, Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, Oxford, through many, many nations. I needed to know what Canada is, what this system is, as it was done to me a couple years ago. I was put down by this very system. Left shocked, I wanted to make a change. I wanted to know what was actually wrong. Today I'm going to go through what the Canadian system is by the best experts in the entire world. The #1 source of law for all the officers that are in attendance over here too. Pay attention, because it's going to get into how things work for you. It all begins with constitutionalism. I know that's a word none of you are very familiar with. In this country, Canada, we have one Canadian Constitutional Act. In that act, there is very, very little to no rules of governance or how to govern. In absolutely every territory and every province since 1867, there's never been any, zero, you can look it all up right now, zero constitutions for the provinces. 2/3 of your rights, the rights that you're not really familiar with, are found in the provinces through the Canadian Constitution. But no premier ever in our history thought it would be a good idea to enshrine all those rights for you. Did you know that Russia, the Federation of Russia, and USA all have these absolutely detailed, extensive rules of governance so the politicians can't steal your civil rights? Civil rights are not what the Charter is. Charter enshrined rights. How does the government steal your Charter rights? How are they able to do that? They do it absolutely by infringing on your civil rights, forcing you to give up your Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Businesses, it's not their fault. Businesses are a civil right. What does the government arbitrarily do? Premiers in every province administer fines. They do all this to get the businesses to force all of you to get rid of your Charter rights. It's not the business's fault. You're in an absolute autocracy right across Canada. It all goes into that crown, Her Majesty. You can look that up in our very, very limited Federal Constitution Act. There are only rules of governance for Her Majesty. Do you know, since 1952, who Her Majesty is? It's your Prime Minister. Your Prime Minister. Did you know that that Prime Minister, whoever you elect every 4 years, is the King, the Her Majesty? The government has kept this from you since 1952. King George VI, Queen Elizabeth's father, was mandated after World War II. The Allies said the end of the constitutional monarchy of colonialism ends today. King George had to do that. He removed the United Kingdom from Canada. Do you know what the real sad part is here, everybody? He died within months of that. He never amended the Canadian Constitution. There are only 4 countries in this world today that are trapped with this colonial embedded crown power of Her Majesty that gives it absolutely to the politicians. CPC, the Canadian Conservative Party, and the Liberal parties in 1952 went, shh, don't tell the people, don't tell First Nations, don't tell anybody, we're going to assume those powers. Your Prime Minister gets to appoint Governor General. Governor General is in full charge of absolutely our courts, the Supreme Court of Canada. In charge of it entirely. Can overrule any case. You can look, I have stacks of law cases where the judge says, I'm sorry, I can't rule on this case, or I can't even hear this case because the Governor General says I can't. I can hear the case, but I can't administer remedy for you because the Governor General says I can't. I don't have the authority. That's called King's Court by Prime Minister. We're going to go down in codified rules of governance. The next stage under that is your Senate, your upper house. Did you know we don't elect our senators, our upper house, our executive? They are all appointed absolutely by every Prime Minister you put in. They are sworn and bound to Her Majesty Prime Minister, whoever that is. There's no such thing as a party system. They can say whatever they want, but they swear their oath to Prime Minister. Absolute. Not to any of you, the people. That doesn't exist in the Constitution. Do you know what the preamble of Canada's Constitution is? It's not we, the people, like almost every other nation in the world. We don't even have a preamble introductory saying the country of Canada. I heard you all sing O Canada. I don't sing O Canada because that's not the law. That's a nice song to trick you all to think that you have freedom, you have all these things. Why do you always have to fight for it? You don't have to fight for it in the United States of America. It's enshrined. It's in rules of governance. It's right in their preamble. We the people. They give supremacy of God. Most nations in the world do that. Do you know what supremacy of God means? It means that no man or woman is above anybody else. That's not Canada. It's Her Majesty. That's your preamble. Not you the people. It's Her Majesty, which is Prime Minister, whoever you elect every 4 years. That's your supremacy of God. Supremacy of the politicians. Next on our list is Privy Council from the House. What's Privy Council? Royal Her Majesty, absolutely Prime Minister. They make all the acts and bills and they can go around the House. MPs of the House, if they're not on Privy Council, they only vote for a bill presented by whoever's Prime Minister and his Privy Council, who are absolutely enshrined full power. There's no democracy, no real true democracy. We're going to continue here. It gets worse. This is your constitution federally, your very limited codified constitution. We go down to now Premier. What's Premier got? Premier has 2/3 in Section 92 of everything promised to you, all of you. Each province with 0 rules of governance, 0 codified constitution. The Premier in a majority government can do anything he or she wants. Absolutely. Strip you of all your rights and freedoms, and you're seeing it. COVID is a massive spotlight on this broken confederation. That's what premiers do. They have lieutenant governors, each one appointed again by Prime Minister. This left and right, they tell you, this party is left, this one's right. The reality is there is no left or right. There's up and down, and in Canada, we're codified up here in full autocracy. No real democracy, it's an illusion. This isn't the same for many, many countries in the world. We are the only country like this in over 7,500 miles. We talk about communism, we can say, it's communism, or it's Nazi. Guess what World War I and II were fought over? They were fought over colonial crown power. It was Age of Empires going to war. Germany was a colonial. The world before the United Nations and the Declaration of Human Rights, which gave you guys a vast amount of freedoms worldwide. Before that, it was League of Nations. Colonial powers ran this world and constituted against all of you. We are one of the last countries to get out of this. We haven't got out of it yet. None of your politicians who stole that crown power, who absolutely have full control of your courts and full control of all of your rights and can take them whenever they want, will never ever enshrine even provincial constitutions. Doesn't matter, Conservative, we're watching it right now. Doug Ford, Jason Kenney in Alberta, Conservative. Horgan out in BC is NDP. Justin Trudeau's Liberal. You see how there's no difference? They're all varying degrees of how much of their rights they're going to steal. Autocratically. No voting, they didn't ask you, they just mandate you. And the reason you have to pay attention to civil rights is because the businesses will be shut down, right? I fine you $100,000 to comply with me taking away your civil rights to hamper everybody's charter rights. You do it, or your registration will not be renewed because you'll have this fine. You can't drive, you lose another civil right. Can't hunt, you can't go get a gun, you can't do anything that you love. All the things you guys love, they can take that away anytime autocratically they choose, and they are. You're seeing it, that's why you're all here. This is an opportunity to change all that. We can do that together. I built a party in Alberta, I've toured the world. I know I'm not well known, but you will learn. I'm the first third-class citizen to actually go through our system as it really is. Did you know that our poor police officers, the ones that are here today, mandated here, do you know what they swear their oath to? They don't swear to serve and protect. That's just TV 911. That is how it is in the United States of America. You can look it up all on your phones right now. Police swear an oath to the Constitution of Canada and Her Majesty right here in the province of Ontario. They don't have a choice. If they don't follow what Doug Ford says, he can fire them at will. Did you know that every lawyer swears an oath to Her Majesty, that Prime Minister, and promises to follow the Constitution, which isn't democratic, which doesn't enshrine any of your rights, and is very autocratic. They have to swear to this Her Majesty King Prime Minister or Queen Prime Minister or King Premier, Queen Premier. Doesn't matter which party. They all take that gross, hard power, they get drunk with it, and they rape you. When people like Derek Sloan, an MP, stands up to it, and he doesn't even understand, right? He's trying to represent his constituents. He's got heart. He wants to fight. He says, no, I can't. My people elected me. I'm gonna fight for their rights. I'm gonna do the right thing. The leader can pick up the phone. I know, I registered a political party. I was in that. I ran for premier in 2019. I could pick up the phone and fire any one of my candidates anytime. I could absolutely clear out any CA with just a phone call. That's the law. That's our Constitution. Lawyers swear an oath to that. If they don't follow this absolute crown power, guess what happens to them? You know, you did 8 years of school and you swore this oath, we'll rip up your bar. You can't practice law anymore. Did you know every judge in Canada has to swear the same oath? Did you know that you can ask any first citizen of Canada, first immigrant, who got their citizenship, do you know what they swear when they get their status for Canada? They swear the oath of allegiance to the Queen, plus they pledge allegiance to the United Kingdom, not even Canada. This is what we are. We don't even have sovereignty. So how do we fix it? How can we fix it? You the people, can help me build a political party, a new one federally, after all this work I did, and I'm going around Canada doing that. You have an opportunity right now. We can get elected. We can actually have that crown power. We can fire the Governor General, all Lieutenant Governors of every province. You the people, can put in your own Governor General, your own Lieutenant Governors sworn to you, and guess what great crown power they have? not an act or bill by any premier or prime minister or legislature or parliament will ever be passed again until they give you guys the power to make constitutions. I have hundreds of the greatest minds published today ready. They're doing this in Barbados right now, Brazil. Men and women tremendously smarter than myself that are ready to come forward. A lot of Americans, but you'd be surprised just how many countries want to help you. In fact, we can do these town halls right across Canada in every single community, educating all of you in every language. I'm working on First Nations right now. Best of them too. We can change Canada. You can all change Canada. You can end all this. You can make the police work for you. You can make lawyers work for you. You can make the judges work for you. End the King's Court. End the corruption of a constitutional monarchy that's 800 years old, illegal in this world really today. But Canada continues with the politicians. This is my talk. I could go on for hours. Over here I have Paula. We have tons of forms for registration. Take your power. I don't charge people nothing. You can look me up. I never charged anybody in the province. I didn't do well, but the narrative's there and it's growing in Alberta tremendously. Many people are growing on that narrative I left. I'm here to fix Canada, to give it to you straight. Unite the people, we the people. Thank you. Come over for registration, see me and Paul, sign the form, put your name down, lifetime free membership, founding member. You'll have the power. This I swear to God for all of you.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys learn something?
Hold on 1 second.
It's about time we start learning our rights, right? Listen, we're a little behind schedule today, but I appreciate all your patience and just staying engaged with us. I know that there's a lot of new faces here, just like last week. I'm sure you didn't come to hear me speak. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up the man of the hour himself, Derek Sloan.
You're still live.
Thanks everybody. Let's watch Derek Sloan now. Let's hear what he has to say.
Good. That was very good. Awesome.
Thank you.
How do I get what you're linked to? You're
Hello.
right over here.
Hello, Canada! Listen, I don't know how many people are here, but I'm thinking we're approaching 500 people, maybe more. And listen, I am very happy to be here today, very impressed with everyone that I've seen. We are living in a time right now where our governments have completely capitulated, completely sat down. They don't even believe in vitamin D anymore. It's a real vitamin, it's not fake news, and it is helpful in preventing respiratory infections. They've known this for decades. So we're living right now with a government that frankly has done nothing other than sort of sit back, pray for better days, and turn on the money spigots. We have not seen anything at all that would indicate any proactivity with COVID. Listen, there are, nasty things out there. We may get even nastier things as time goes on. That means we have to quickly mobilize. We have to look, are there any vitamins? Are there any drugs that already exist that could be repurposed? Maybe like ivermectin or things like this, right? So we need to move quickly because to shut down a society is not an answer to a sickness. It's not an answer. Now, if we had an awful disease where people were just falling over in the streets, that would obviously disrupt the economy. But to proactively shut the economy down for no benefit whatsoever is suicide. And we're seeing more and more evidence come out. I just read a compendium of 52 different studies that have looked at lockdowns, blanket lockdowns around the world, and there's no... Yeah? Oh, not me? Okay, yeah. There's no evidence to suggest that these blanket lockdowns are helping anybody, and the costs of them are huge. Huge. Thank you.
Lots of support
Thank
here,
you.
guys. It's great.
The cost, the impacts of these lockdowns are way disproportionate to any potential benefit that we're seeing. We are seeing suicides, mental health, drug addiction through the roof. We're seeing businesses destroyed that will never open again.
Yep.
And we're seeing a government that is laying on more and more and more debt. Okay? We're over $1 trillion in debt for the first time ever in Canada, and we're seeing them lay on tens of millions, billions of dollars in additional. They want to do an economic stimulus to get the country open again. Let me give the Liberal government a piece of advice. If you want the economy to be stimulated, open it up. Open it up. Right? People are at home, not allowed to go into businesses by law. And you think that the key to restarting the economy is $100 billion plus stimulus? This is crazy. This is about implementing their new agenda on Canadians. This is about some kind of a socialist
none other
takeover
than
of Canada. And I'm not going to let it happen on my watch. And I know that you're not going to let it happen on your watch. I am sick. I am sick of our governments doing nothing. Are you telling me in 13 months, 14 months, 15 months, the only thing they can tell us to do is wash our hands, stay home, wear a mask?
Yep.
Are you kidding me? They have had 16 months to expand our healthcare system. I don't care if you have to make up a field hospital in a field or repurpose a gymnasium from a school you've shut down. Do it, right? I mean, listen, there are real pandemics out there. There are real diseases. Who knows, we might get a worse one. They're shutting the country down when 800 people are in ICU. We're 15 million people in this province. You're telling me that 800 people are going to shut down our province? Move heaven and earth to do whatever you have to care for these people. But don't kill the rest of us. What's wrong with this government? You've had 15 months to change things. I don't care what you have to do. Give an RPN elevated privileges for a few months. Bring some retirees back in. I don't care what you do, but do it. This has been a year and a half to do something, do anything. You want to make us wear masks? Fine. Distribute vitamin D. Look at some of these drugs. You want to do everything and do everything. They're not doing everything. They're doing nothing. And I'm sick of it. I am confident that by doing what we're doing today, listen, one of the things that we can do as Canadians is to peacefully protest. I want to thank everybody today for being on your best behavior. There's no reason to break heads or vandalize. And you guys here are being so peaceful, and that's great. We reserve the right to peacefully protest. It just so happens that we're protesting against the law that says we can't protest, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But we reserve the right to protest on any issue. And there were people that were protesting almost this time last year against police brutality, and they have every right to do it. Okay? But it's not fair that, for some protests, the Premier and others say, oh yeah, it's great, it's great to do that. And then when other people are protesting the very measures that the government is implementing, somehow that's awful. Okay? We have the right to do this.
Autocracy.
The Charter of Rights and Freedoms says that we have the right to do this. And these lockdown measures that they're doing are overbroad. They're against the Charter. And I'm confident that once we get some of these things through the courts, we're going to see some wins. Until then, absolutely.
I don't know about that, Governor
Absolutely.
General and Lieutenant Governors. It's up to the politicians.
Until then, we'll hang out here, standing up for the Charter, and the courts will catch up to us. But I am sick of, our government officials telling us that, we can't do this and all this. I have with me here not only the Charter, but the Canadian Bill of Rights. Okay? Right here.
It's only for Quebec.
As a parliamentarian, I can get the House of Commons to print these things. If I want a flag, I can get a flag. If I want the Charter, I can get the Charter. If I want the Bill of Rights, I can get the Bill of Rights. You want one too? Well, you know what? I actually have an extra one, but it's not for everybody because I don't have enough.
Oh, wow, look at that. Attaboy.
So listen, I'm just going to read. The Canadian Bill of Rights is a great document. It was been around since the 60s by a Prime Minister, John Diefenbaker. And there's a lot of rights in here. You know, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly and association, freedom of the press, freedom of religion. But you know what I didn't actually notice till today, I've seen the law before, but I didn't realize John Diefenbaker signed off with like kind of a quote or something from him. And I'm just going to read you this quote that's on the document right here. And it says, after listing all these rights and saying that every law of Canada shall, unless it is expressly declared by an act of the Parliament of Canada, that it shall operate notwithstanding the Bill of Rights, be so construed and applied as not to abrogate, abridge, or infringe, or to authorize the abrogation, abridgment, or infringement of any of the rights or freedoms herein recognized and declared. Now, at the end of this is what John Diefenbaker says. He says, I am a Canadian, a free Canadian, free to speak without fear, free to worship God in my own way, free to stand for what I think right, free to oppose what I believe wrong, free to choose those who shall govern my country. This heritage of freedom I pledge to uphold for myself and all mankind. And I say the same thing today. I am here as a free Canadian to stand up for Canadians all across this country who are getting sick of these arbitrary detentions, these arbitrary lockdowns. Canadians who are getting sick of their businesses being destroyed, their kids' lives being wrecked. And I will never, ever stop fighting for those freedoms and privileges, and I know you won't either. I'm proud to be a Canadian. God bless you and God bless Canada. Thank you so much. Freedom, 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 freedom.
Hey, everybody, I got to get people signed up. And that's Tyler. He was a good graces to bring me on there. I'm going to talk to Derek, but I also got to get everybody signed up. Bye, all. We'll talk soon.